And live from New York.
Get your mom.
Oh man, that's not nice. We're managing motels and meandering magnificently. Here we are, sounding board. Alright, so the beer that we are drinking today is by Funkworks, and that is a Fort Collins, Colorado brew company. This is the Raspberry Provincial, and it is a Berliner Weiss. So this is basically a wheat beer, heavy on the raspberry.
I only smell wheat.
Just the wheat part.
Yeah, I don't think I smell.
Well, let's give it a little taste.
See what happens.
You know, there's only one person that would give me the raspberry. Lone Star. I like this one. It feels, which is probably a dumb way. It feels flat. Is it like it should be carbonated? Is that weird?
Because this is a sour, I'm sure that they probably got it more from a bacteria or a yeast versus from other fermentation processes. So I think it is probably a little bit lighter on that carbonation. But get a little bit of raspberry, super tart, obviously. A little bit of lemon. But
like
this
it.
is pretty chill and refreshing.
I like this one.
Man,
this one's pretty.
these light summer beers, like you can find them in all kinds of different varieties, and this is definitely a good one. So cheers.
And happy summer. So we're going to talk about some games.
Let's start with our Cult of the New.
Cult of the New.
Cult of the New.
So today our theme is dice, and looking at how dice are used in Euros.
Absolutely.
So, they
Because
mean
not
something.
all are created equally.
No. So today we're looking at two games by the same group of designers.
Yeah.
First one we're going to look at is Lorenzo El Magnifico.
And this is a last year release, but pretty late last year,
Yeah.
so
It's just really hitting the markets recently in the U.S.
absolutely. Let's see. So we have our designers are Virginio Gigli. I am super sorry. No mean to be like offensive. I'm just terrible at pronouncing. Simone Luciani and Flaminia Brazzini. So I hope I'm pronouncing you guys, no disrespect meant, but and then artist is Clemens Franz, who a lot of people I think are probably aware of Clemens
Yes.
Franz. Published by Simon Limited, and again, that's kind of cool about this.
Yeah.
Simon's not really known for its Euro games.
Yeah, and it was more a distribution than a publishing.
And I forget who was doing it like overseas, but
Yeah.
Simon chose to bring it here. But yeah, because it is Simon, really good quality. Where do we want to start?
So let's get into it. So it's a dice rolling game, and the cool thing is everybody's going to play off these same three dice, and you have family members that are going to correspond to each one of these dice, and then you have one that we just call the family idiot because he's a 0. So let's say we roll the dice. That's a pretty decent roll. So this means my orange guy has 5 pips worth of power. The white guy would have 3 pips of power, and the black guy would have 5 pips of power, and this would always be a 0. So if you look over the board over here, what Cameron will show you, is that there's pip requirements to go to certain places.
So most of these are a 1,
One.
which means technically you can do the action one time or of a 1 value, kind of depending
Right.
on which one it is.
Your family member has to hit at least a 1 value to go there.
Absolutely, which means the idiot can't really do anything without other supplemental stuff, and we'll kind of get
Yeah.
to that.
So what happens is you place your worker on the board. You can make up the difference in servants. So servants are a way to add to the pip total. So if I had 5 pips and I wanted to do a 7 pip action, I would add 2 of the servants and I could do the 7 pip. If I wanted to do it with my idiot, he would have to have 7 servants to go with him. So the cool thing is they can go wherever they want, but there are some restrictions. So if you look at the top of the board,
look
that's
up
where you
here.
get these cards. And there's purple are more religious cards. Blue cards are more quick game point cards. They give you some points at the end of the game too. And then you got 2 machines that you run during the game, which I think is the most complicated part of the game that people.
Those are operated down here
Yes.
just for reference.
So let's go ahead and put this yellow card in the very top. So if it's there, I have to use my yellow worker. I mean, not yellow worker, I'm sorry. Let's say I'm going to use my black worker. So he has a 5 value. I would put him out there on the 5 spot. I would spend 2 servants.
Yeah.
I would spend 2 servants to do it because you can never go to the 7 spots on your own. And this is a game where every rule I tell you, a card breaks it. It's so normally you can't. But
just bear with us.
You can get cards that break those rules. So I would instantly get what was on that spot when I put it down. So what was that covering up?
So it was actually covering 2 shields.
Military, yeah. So the cool thing is the card. You initially get this value that's up top. So I'd initially get 2 victory points and we call them Pope points.
Pope points.
But you gotta make the church happy. And then I put this into my engine. Do you have a player board up there?
I absolutely do.
So you would put this into your engine. So now I'm going to explain this because this is the part that people have the most trouble with, and we had trouble with, and the rulebook's not the greatest rulebook in the world.
That is definitely one complaint of mine because, like, the first time we played this, there was some, things that I had kind of been building up, through most of the game, and then, like, halfway through, I was like, well, you can't really do that. But it was, again, first game, learning game, I, like, really understand that, but it was kind of a bummer.
So let's say I went to the spot that allows me to run the engine on the bottom of the board, the gears, and I wanted to use the white action. So you look to see what it is. Right now it's a 3. It requires a 2 to activate it, so I can activate my thing. And then, so you do the bottom, which is on that one.
You spend one
of your
Pope points, and then you get 2 money and 2 victory points.
2 victory points. So the trick to this is you can't use a yellow card to activate another yellow card. You have to have it off to the side.
That was the mistake.
And you can only activate it once per time that you go there.
Absolutely.
Adrian.
And those do not seem like big things, like, as we're just kind of talking, but they absolutely broke our last game.
So this is essentially a worker placement.
Absolutely.
That is what the base game is. You're going to have 4 actions every turn. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't do the 4th action because you didn't save any servants.
Right.
This guy is almost useless without
servants.
Servants. You can mitigate it with some cards. So it's got let's bring back up the player board too. So it's got this cool little thing. If you look at this track, it's called we call it the Pope track. It's the Catholic Church. The higher you go on it, the more points you get. And unlike some games that reward you for going higher, this really penalizes you if you don't go high enough. So at the end of the second round, you have to be to at least a 3, or you would face this penalty. And this is an example of one of the first penalties is every time you get a servant, you get 1 less.
Right.
And you can also say, you know what? I don't care. Because when you do it, you go back to 0. You get the points. So let's say I was directly on it. I'd get 3 points. I'd go back to the beginning, and I'd have to start anew to get to this middle one by the end of round 4, and the last one by the end of round 6. So you can spend one of your cubes. You have 3 of them because you could get excommunicated 3 times. So you would put it on that and say, you know what? I'm going to stay where I am on this track, or I didn't get there, and I'm going to take this penalty the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. It's a brutal penalty, by the way.
They are... But I have seen people who were excommunicated and still managed to do quite well in the game. So it's not like if you do not, do it like, game over, like it's going to knock you back that amount. Yeah. It's just one of those things that you additionally have to factor
in. And the longer you stay on that track, the more points you get. So
ultimately at end game, 30 poinds would be
huge.
Huge.
So here's a couple more examples of some harder ones. This says every time that you try to buy a green card, you'd lose 4 pips worth of
buying power.
Yeah, so if I rolled a 6, it's only a 2. And if I rolled a 4, it's a 0.
And just, one of those things like, dice and euros, one of the ways that this really makes it work well is that everyone bases off of the same dice.
Yeah, so if I rolled crappy, we all rolled crappy.
Everybody's kind of in that same boat, and I think that really balances out the game very well.
We will all have to mitigate it the best we can. The board does a great job of giving you a place to mitigate it. There's a couple... You always got to have a 1. There's nothing that breaks that rule. So you always got to have some servants close by. But there's some spots where everybody can go to, and you get some rewards. You can build up for next turn. Losing one of your 4 abilities is pretty ruthless. You get 24 actions over the course of the game. So it's
Right.
6 rounds. You got 4 actions per round. Giving up actions in this game
It's
is massive.
It's massive.
In losing points. The other cool thing we didn't talk about is the top. So the rule is if
Up here.
no, the very top. So if I put this guy on, let's say, a purple one, I can't go back there again with my family.
So yeah, no one could go and buy any of these cards.
No, I couldn't. Somebody else can. And
Right,
then
I'm saying yeah, you couldn't.
I can't go back there, but my dummy player is actually a different color. He's
Tan? Nude?
nude. So I could put him on the yellow row later too. And if somebody else is already on that row, you pay $3 to the bank. So there's a lot of tight. Money is tight.
Very, very tight. in this game.
So I can only be with my main 3 guys on that purple row once, and I can only be on there again if I used my dummy guy. And if anybody else is there, I got to pay $3. So it doesn't let you just go, I want purple card, purple card, purple card, get this big wheel going. You're only going to be able to get the most 4 cards.
Right.
You could get 2 of the same, but the most we get 2 cards around.
But it is very expensive to get servants to be able to use that dummy player. So typically you're using the dummy player for like kind of, instant things like, placement.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really go over that, but this is the turn track.
Yeah.
Essentially. And then, as you do it, you're able to choose any of these actions. That was actually pretty big.
It
And
is.
about the beginning of the game, it was actually a
Yeah.
main thing.
I mean, you're guaranteed not to pay $3 to go to a spot because you're going
Absolutely.
first. So that's big. So one thing that we do have read, haven't tried it yet. We've only played this 4 players.
4 players, yeah.
We have heard it's not a. We played it 3 players. I played it 3 players. We've heard it's not a good 2-player game. So if you look at the very bottom, so that's where you activate your green cards and your yellow cards. And if you look,
It's very, very tiny right
Yes.
there.
but on a 2-player game, those get covered up. So only one person can go to each one. That's brutal.
That is that is absolutely brutal. Especially if both people have gears.
Yes. You can only go
That
there
would be
maybe
very,
3
very
times for the
difficult.
entire game.
Yeah.
In the 3-4-player game, somebody can go there once at a, whatever pip you roll you get, and then everybody else can go there at a 3-pip deficit, but you can still go there. You can mitigate it, and you can get there.
Right.
So this game, I really like it. Cameron's only got to play it once, and it had some issues for him,
Definitely, but
some teaching issues.
But first game, learning game.
Yeah.
But I will have to say that there was enough in this game, and after kind of getting that clarity afterwards, this is something that because I love these types of
Yes.
games. So definitely the dice throwing mechanic I like because it gives enough variability, and I'm much more dice prone, but
Right.
it gives you that variety with like each round. Everyone kind of has to work with it, and it's a good worker placement. I need to play it again. I really need to like get back in
Yeah.
there and do it one more time.
And he will because I love it. So
So by proxy.
So proxy. So here's what happens when games come out. I usually group them together based on when I get them. So I'm always going to have the next game reviewing Grand Austria Hotel and Yokohama kind of lumped together.
Yeah.
And there's other games I have that. I like this out of the 3 the best. And it's probably your least favorite of the 3.
I would probably say that.
Yeah.
But we'll be reviewing Yokohama, shortly.
Yes. So
That's
those
definitely my favorite.
It happens with me. When you get games that are kind of similar at the same time, you always kind of. I got some games like Elysium and Viceroy. We bought at the same time, and I'll always put those 2 together in my head. I don't know if a lot of other people do that, but
And within all 3 of those games, Grand Austria, this one, what was the
Yokohama.
Yokohama, like they're all radically different,
Yeah,
but
they are.
I can see like worker placement wise they are kind of similar.
They're 3 big Euros that came out at the same. This is a mid Euro. What's the time on it, Scott?
1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, and
2 to 4 players, pretty standard Euro stuff. If Euro and worker placement is your bag, this is
Yeah.
I think this would probably be a must buy. Definitely a must play.
And it's a
Definitely
great
a must
dice
play.
manipulation.
Thank you. Yeah.
'Cause I can't say big words. So this is an instant buy for me.
I would say it is a insta play. If I was gonna recommend, I'd recommend that anyone at least play it if you like the light to mid Euro.
Don't let the rulebook throw you off. Watch some videos.
No, watch a couple of videos.
Yeah,
It'll be better.
Because it's not. We've read through the rulebook a couple times. Our
Just-
friend Scott argues with it. It's a good rulebook. You're wrong, Scott, but you're still a nice guy, kinda. Components wise, it's a typical Euro.
It's fine.
Big chunky dice are nice.
Yeah, the dice are nice.
Ooh, the arrow.
Yeah,
the
the
cards are pretty bland. They're pretty. They make sense. Iconology wise, a terrific game.
Absolutely, everything connects very well.
We don't go to the rulebook very often. Look up card, icons.
No, as far as what I need to do
Yeah.
and how it connects, absolutely everything's on the
And
board.
we'll
and cards.
contrast that in a minute when we do Grand Austria Hotel, where we had no idea what.
It's
the
a little
cards
bit more
did.
difficult, yeah.
So the rulebook's below average. The art's average for a Euro.
Okay.
It's not. The board looks very nice. The cool thing it has these overlays that go over components when you play it with 2 to 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. It makes it look like part of the board. Like you cover it up. That's pretty nice. 2 hours is probably right where I would say 4 players it'll run.
Yeah.
Not very hard to teach. At
No.
times.
Because of how well the iconography links up, it is easier as far as learning it. It is pretty easy.
So one thing I want to add about the Lorenzo, it has a advanced thing called leaders. You didn't get to play it.
Oh no. What is that?
So it has 4 people that you get at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
They have goals that you have to meet. You don't have to turn stuff in. You just got to have a certain thing and you get powers.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. It also has a cool thing where it gives you goals from the beginning. Because
Okay.
sometimes you don't know what you're doing. So this gives you some goals to work towards. And you can also discard them for a free bonus.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
So it gives you
in
a
a
little bit
bind.
more
Yeah.
variability and
Yeah.
way to augment stuff.
So highly
That
recommend
would be pretty nice.
So now we're going to have a little bit of a challenge where we're going to identify some dice. So we're going to do our 3, 2, 1, identify it.
Okay.
First one to do it gets the dice.
Okay.
We don't know what these dice are, but at the end we're going to roll them
Okay.
and come up with some formula to see who wins our trophy. Because we didn't get to do the trophy last week.
Okay.
So
because we did the math.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we got to do a trophy this week.
Okay.
So she's going to come out and put a dice in front of us. We're going to guess it. She's going to put it. Let's put a spot over there. Or do you want to do it here? Which one's this?
Yeah,
one's a
no,
little
that'll be
closer.
better.
Okay. So we'll put the dice here so you guys can play along at home.
Nice,
All
actually.
right. So we're gonna start guessing these dice. We got 10 of them over here. I'm not trying to look at them. So we're gonna put the first one up here, and it looks like a regular wooden. It's wooden. Wooden dice.
Okay.
So we're going to try to guess what game it is. Here's the thing, too. If you guys think this was used in another game as well, you let us know. Because they are definitely...
That could be anything.
It could be almost anything. So let's give it a second. We'll count to
Yeah, just do it.
3. 1, 2, 3. Yahtzee? No. What is it from?
Stone Age.
Stone Age? Oh.
Did you play Stone Age?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I feel it
Oh.
now.
I will tell you now that every dice I pulled are from our shelves that we have.
Right, they are from our games.
it's cheating.
Yahtzee is not on our shelves.
You
Games
got.
we both played.
You need a little bit. You need to hold this one for a second. I know this one. You know what, Cameron?
Oh,
hold it a
yeah.
second. Okay.
Okay. Go.
3, 2, 1.
Video Game High
School. All right, so nobody's winning that dice. Nobody won that dice.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Yeah, I got it.
Hold on.
Count, and you have to give him time. So hold on.
It's a big.
Just-
It's a little bit bigger than normal yellow dice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Twix.
What did you say, Cameron?
Quicks.
What did you say?
Twa.
Cameron's correct.
Damn it. He gets the dice.
All right.
That big.
So this has a star on it, and God, I'm blanking out on this
Oh
already.
man, I know, but I don't.
I know this. Oh my gosh. It's a wooden dice. The star's the only thing that's different. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Jamaica.
Wow, I can't believe you got that. But yes, that is correct.
Yeah, the last second it says. It's the fighting dice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Wasn't gonna get that one.
Alright, so this has
Oh, okay.
hearts. Oh, okay. Whoa! That took
I
a minute
know.
until I got
I
there.
know, right?
Surprised that took a minute.
So 3, 2, 1. Burke's
Burke's
Gambit.
Gambit. That took a minute. Great game, Burke's Gambit. This has a little tiny dice. Little tiny purple dice. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
3,
2,
2, 1.
1.
Sagrada.
Oh.
Damn, Kyle.
See, yeah.
Ooh.
These are gonna be way easier.
What?
I know what this is.
Oh, you do?
Oh, instantly.
Oh my God.
Instantly.
Now, see, I was worried Cameron would know first.
Instantly know
Oh.
what this one is.
Oh,
Oh.
I think I got it. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Deception.
Oracle to Delphi.
Oh, it is Oracle. Oh.
Dice and deception?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh. I thought because you
Here's
guys
every-
just played it.
Here's every single dice that's ever been made.
So we have to kind of guess which feld this came from. Because this came from a feld. I'll tell you that right now. But what feld did this come from? And the shelf's not even behind us anymore. Let me think. I'm trying to think which ones you played too. I think I got it. I think I got a good guess. I could be steering you in the wrong direction too.
Yeah, I think I got it.
3, 2, 1.
It
Bora
happens.
Bora.
Castles of Burgundy.
He hasn't played it. Oh, you have played it.
Yeah, I play Castles a lot. Oh, what is?
Oh.
We own castles.
Oh, I know what this
That
is.
doesn't mean he's played it.
You do?
I do.
No.
I don't know if you
Have I
this.
played this?
I don't know if he's played this one.
I
That was the one I wasn't.
I haven't played that.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Takanoto.
Yeah,
Not played it.
I haven't played it.
We will put it off to the
You
side.
own it, don't you?
Yeah, I've played. That
Play your
Vina's
damn
played it.
games, Cameron.
That Vina
I'm
played it.
sorry.
I know that one.
I don't know this one. I should know this one, right?
Uh huh. 3,
2,
2, 1.
Bang.
Tiny Epic Western.
What'd you say?
Bang.
Yes, Tiny Epic Western.
Yeah. So how many dice you got? 2?
I don't know.
We got 3 each.
Okay.
'Cause the other 3 were ties. So I rolled 12 and a fire. What did you roll?
I got 15.
Yeah, so this is worth 4. No, I'm just kidding. Let me roll a 6-sider. 12, 16?
16. You have a total possible
Yeah, but I got it because I got this dice is better than yours.
in the 10-sided.
Yeah, because I did better on those.
Jesus,
So
you win
I win
by cheating.
because that's math. So we'll talk about this at the end, but we'll just put it right there so you can see and not see that. Oh, maybe if it did the
Ooh,
black.
oh look, you can actually maybe kind of see it. Oh man.
Okay,
How nice.
so let's talk about the Cult of the Old.
Cult of the Old.
Cult of the Old.
So
We are going to talk about. We are going to talk about. Okay.
we're currently talking about.
Yeah. So next game on our list that reminds us of the first game. You know why it reminds us of the first game?
You know what? Because it's basically the same two designers, Virginio Gigli and Simone Luciani, and the artist is Clemens Franz again. So a lot of similarities.
Very similar. You know, I love the art on this one. It feels different than the other one.
It's Clemens Franz, I think, is a pretty dynamic, and all
Yeah.
of his stuff seems to click pretty well.
So this is another dice game, but it uses a lot of dice instead
more
of
dice.
Yes. So in a 4-player game, you'd roll 14 dice,
Absolutely.
and then it has a snake order. And so for Justin, who can't figure out what a snake order is, which means if you go first on a turn, you go last, and everybody gets 2 actions.
Just like Sagrada.
Just like Sagrada. So in a 4-player game, if you go first, you also go 8th. That's pretty massive. I have not played this 4-player yet. I am pretty scared to play this 4th player.
It would take a lot of time.
We played it 2. Plays fabulous 2. It's quick too.
Yeah.
And 3-player we played is pretty solid.
Yeah.
We have not done 4-player. Done 4-player Sagrada, but that's a lot less
Stuff going on. Yeah.
And that's just picking up a dice. This has got a lot of actions. So what you're doing in this game is you're making your guest happy and then sticking them in a hotel room. That's pretty much it.
That is pretty much the whole game.
It doesn't sound, fun.
Like,
that's fun. It's a good game.
It is one of those games with an odd theme, but the way that they make everything kind of work and complementary to each other, it's more engaging than you would ever really think.
And this also has he loves making people happy or unhappy. So this has another track similar to Lorenzo, where you have to make the royalty happy, and if you do, you get bonuses though. So you don't get penalties. Actually, this game really doesn't have any penalties, which is nice. You can not do stuff, which is bad. This does something every game should. Every game. The money track stays on the board, so you don't have money going around. I love it. Every game should do it. Just put a money track on there, move a cube around.
Look at all the things you don't have to keep track of.
So this is the player board. Pretty simple. The jux of this game is the cards. So you're going to get... if you look at the board, there'll be some guests that come out. And they'll be down on those tables. You're going to take one.
With associated cost.
2 of them are going to be free. First, you don't have to take one.
No.
It's an optional action.
And they do shift down as they go, so some can.
Cheaper. Yep.
Yeah.
So you get the guests. You can only have 3 of them, and you got 3 little places you put them here. You put cubes on them, and the cubes represent stuff. But let's look at the cubes. They're cubes. They represent coffee, I think, and other stuff that really meat. I don't even know. Do you remember what they represent? They're freaking cubes. I mean, you could. There's a theme to it.
You know what? Let's just make it up, right?
Yeah.
So brown is coffee.
Yeah, black is coffee.
Black is coffee. Brown is
chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay. White is white chocolate, and red is red chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
you got that. So it's a chocolate game.
It's chocolate with coffee.
So each guy in the restaurant's going to want certain things. You're going to make them happy, and once you do, you're going to throw them in a hotel room. The coolest part of this game is, let's pull up the dice board. That's board right there. So that's where the drafting happens. So you're going to roll all 14 dice. You're going to put all
these chunky dice.
All these chunky dice. You're going to put all the 1s on the 1 spot, all the 2s in the 2 spot, all the way up to 6. 6 are cool because they're wild. So there can be... Yeah, so let's say I want to do the 5 action. Okay, can we see it? Yeah. So the 5 action, I get to do... I take one of the dice, put it on my board, and I'm going to get to do it 3 times. So you do... How many dice are there, including the one you took?
Right.
So I would get to do the 5 action 3 times. If there's no dice there, you can't do it.
Right.
So... you could theoretically roll 14 1s, and
everyone kind of has to dig from that pool. So once he pulls 1, then he gets to do that action 3 times. So the problem of going, like we were saying, snake track first and 8th, you really have to think first.
Yeah.
What is realistically going to be available to kind of plan, and it makes it very hard because now whenever I go, I can only do this action twice. Next person. Now it's no longer available.
Right.
That took 3 people to empty a spot.
So the 1 and 2 actions. So every dice is valuable, which is cool. So
that is good.
The 1 and 2 action get you more cubes. The more cubes you have, the happier you can make them be. And when you take cubes in that manner, you get to put them directly on the hotel guest, and it helps you a lot. What happens is when you roll the dice, you'll have the dice on the board. The 1s and 2s will give you these resources. And you'll get to put them directly onto the card. They have some restrictions how many you can take. You always have to take a lesser or equal to than the higher one.
Right.
So, again, the chocolate's better than... easier to get than the white chocolate. The 3 allows you to put these on the board. So these let you know that the room is ready for a guest.
Right.
So this is all you get to say. So if there was 4 dice there, I could put out 4 different things. They're going to cost me different amounts of money.
So you have
based
to
on
be
what
able
floor.
to pay to do it.
You got to pay to do it, and you have to connect them.
Orthogonally.
Thank you. One day I'll say that word. But at the end of the game, you'll get points for them. The 4 action is how you move up on the royalty track and how you can get more money. Mm-hmm. And then the 5th action is you can get staff to help you.
Absolutely.
So you'll pay for some staff. And then once these guys are completed, so if I get 2 red chocolate and 1 coffee, which is delicious, you can flip it over and this guy's done. He's going to give you some victory points and he's going to give you some abilities. And there's a ton of cards.
And that is the crux of the game.
Yes. It is getting as many people into hotel rooms, getting their points, getting their one-time abilities, or some have some game-end abilities. They all have different abilities.
Yep.
The room colors have to match. So if I put this yellow patron, he has to go into a yellow room. So there's some card collection in that part, some planning ahead. Some of the ones give you tokens. And then when you complete little sections of it, you get bonus abilities. The yellows will give you ability to move up on the royalty track. The blues will give you victory points, and the reds will give you more money. So there's a strategy at when you want to take the cards, what kind of cards you get. You can also store extra guys at the extra goods, and pay $1 to move 3 of them out. Game ends after 6 rounds. I'm not positive that's correct right now that I'm thinking about it. Yep, 7 rounds. It is a 7-round game. And then you got some bonus tiles that come out there based on how far you are on the track. You're going to move back down on the track. So it happens like in same as Lorenzo, where
Absolutely.
you move up the track, but to get the reward, you're going to move back down. So you just can't sit up there the whole time and get points.
Right. This is very much like just trying to like balance your resources and trying to make everything kind of collide together. What makes this like really meaty is the fact that stuff is really dynamic on the board.
Yeah, and
like,
you can't.
It is always changing.
Yeah, you can't really go. Next move, I'm doing this. Dice roll.
You really can't.
I'm not even doing it
unless you're 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
In which.
Or if the dice didn't roll, the 6 dice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The 6 dice become wild, which is kind of cool. Where you can make them be anything you want if you pay $1. So.
But a lot of people did that. That was I mean, if it is up there, it is almost always worth doing.
They're typical. You can see the designers when they start doing games, especially when you play them back to back. They really like manipulating the dice, but these guys really love different tracks to get onto, give you rewards, but then move you back down those tracks. This game is rewarding, while the other game is Lorenzo's punishing.
A little bit more punishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But highly recommend it. Tight money game. Most you can have is $20. You can't go over it. You can we'd run out of money in this game a lot.
Absolutely.
There's big swings based on cards. The help is huge.
And depending on like what comes out, I mean, there is a lot of there are a lot of different things to keep track of, but there are a lot of different paths to victory.
The art is great. I like it a lot better than Lorenzo. Lorenzo looks a little
even though it's the same
artist. He did a good job on both of them. Straight out great job on both of them. But I like this is more comical.
A little bit lighter.
lighter.
And I think the game actually
looks better.
Theme-wise is a little bit lighter.
Oh yeah. Looks great on the table. What's the time say on this one? 1 to 2 hours?
It's same 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, and I can see that. I had not played it 4. I've heard horror stories of other people.
About like how long?
Yeah. Going 1st and 8th, people, I mean, we have a friend who has a short attention span to begin with, but could not play it 4-player, where he got up and walked away and did other stuff and came back because it was so long in between turns.
And AP
but honestly,
in this game is crippling.
He does that in Zombie Dice too, so that's all right. So that's no problem. All right, that's twice we've ripped on our friend Scott. Sorry. But, B, instant buy.
I don't know if I would like say an instant buy, but I definitely say if Euro kind of worker placement, light to medium fill is like your thing. Do not be turned off by like the theme of the hotel management thing. The actual mechanics and everything are really engaging and awesome.
You don't feel like you're running a hotel. It's not. It's not a hotel simulator.
It doesn't feel. Yeah, it doesn't feel like stale or boring, like a night shift or something.
Yeah.
But I would say this is a must play.
Yes.
I don't know about must buy, but this is a must play for anyone that even digs Euros a little bit.
Now we got to give a warning. So it's Austria. We have a friend from Austria.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of evilness, I think, lies inside this game because of Austria. So, thank you for watching. Let us know about this new format. Do the like, do the subscribe, do the comments, do the sharing.
Comment, tweet us, email
Yeah.
us.
Let Jacksepticeye know this is done.
Mhm.
He was asking about it. He messages me every day about this game. But we appreciate everybody watching. It's
Thank
pretty
you
cool.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Cheers.